In the misty hills of Chikmagala, a chilling legend is whispered only after dark. It's the story of a spirit that roams the winding roads after midnight, a Yakshini who can steal any face she desires. The locals call her Bahurupa, the one with many faces, and they say she has collected 99 of them. She just needs one more to complete her collection. Arjun, a wildlife photographer drawn to the allure of the unknown, came to these hills hoping to capture rare nocturnal animals. For 2 nights, his camera found nothing but shadows and silence. On the 3rd night, however, he saw her. A young woman in a simple white sari stood by the edge of the forest, looking lost and afraid. Her beauty was almost otherworldly. "Can you help me?" she whispered, her voice like a soft breeze. Arjun, ever the gentleman, offered her his water bottle. She took it and smiled, but as she did, a shiver ran down his spine. He noticed 2 things that were terribly wrong. First, when his powerful flashlight swept across her face, her eyes didn't reflect the light. They were like 2 black voids. Second, her shadow. It moved with a slight delay, lagging just a fraction of a second behind her body, a dark echo that didn't quite match her form. Intrigued and a little unnerved, Arjun followed her as she led him deeper into the dense woods. She promised to show him a path back to the village, but the trail only grew darker and more tangled. Suddenly she stopped. Under the pale moonlight, Arjun saw her face flicker, like a bad television signal. Her features glitched for a horrifying instant. Her cheeks stretched, her lips twisted into an unnatural snarl. And then, another face slid over hers like a mask. It wasn't just one new face, or 2, it was a cascade of faces. Dozens of them, melting and reforming in a grotesque, seamless slideshow. Old women, young girls, angry men, crying children. Each face appeared for a moment, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of whispers and screams. Arjun was frozen in place, his camera forgotten in his hands. He finally managed to stammer, What are you?" The creature smiled, wearing the face of a beautiful woman he didn't recognize. "I collect faces," she said, her voice a sweet melody that didn't match the horror of her words. "And I've been looking for my 100th. Yours is perfect." Pure terror finally broke Arjun's paralysis. He turned and ran, crashing through the undergrowth, branches clawing at his clothes. But the Yakshini didn't chase him as a single entity. She became a phantom of his past. From behind one ancient tree, his mother's face peered out, her expression full of concern. "Arjun, what's wrong?" she called. From another, his best friend from college appeared, laughing. Then his ex-girlfriend, tears streaming down her face. And finally, the most terrifying of all, his own face, smirking at him from the shadows. "You can't run from yourself," it giggled, the sound of his own voice twisted into a mocking echo. Gasping for breath, Arjun spotted the faint outline of an old, abandoned forest watchtower. He scrambled up the rickety steps, slammed the heavy wooden door, and bolted it shut. He leaned against it, his heart pounding against his ribs like a drum. He fumbled for his flashlight, its beam cutting through the dusty air. The room was empty. He was safe, or so he thought. A soft voice whispered directly behind him. "Why are you so scared of your own face?" He whipped round. Standing there, just inches away, was the She was wearing his face perfectly, every detail flawlessly replicated. But her smile was too wide, stretching unnaturally at the corners of her lips. Before Arjun could even scream, she reached out and placed a cold hand on his cheek. "Thank you," she whispered in his voice, "for the 100th face." A final blood-curdling scream ripped through the valley, echoing until the morning sun broke over the hills. When the local police finally investigated, they found the watchtower empty. There was no sign of Arjun. There was no sign of a struggle. All they found was a single, grotesquely perfect human face, lying neatly folded on the dusty floor like a discarded piece of cloth. The legend of the Bahurupa Yakshini continues. Villagers still say that on moonless nights, a man who looks exactly like Arjun wanders the forest paths. He carries a camera and often asks lost travelers, "Have you seen a girl in a white sari?" But if you get too close, you might notice that his shadow doesn't quite keep up with his movements, because he isn't Arjun anymore. He is the Bahurupa Yakshini, finally complete, wearing her 100th face.